To get the fifth installment kicked off in the Harry Potter franchise, Harry is at a local park in his aunt and uncle's neighborhood, and also there is Dudley and his gang. Dudley makes fun of Harry because he keeps talking in his sleep due to nightmares he has been getting after seeing Cedric Diggory die in the Goblet of Fire. Harry tries not to let it bother him, and he wants to be the bigger person. But when he gets up, the sky turns really dark and Harry can tell something is wrong. All of Dudley's friends run off, and it gets really cold. Harry and Dudley start sprinting home, but are met by some dementors in a tunnel. They start draining the soul out of Dudley, and Harry has no choice but to use the Patronus charm to get the dementors away from them, despite it being illegal since he is underage. After the dementors leave, Harry is shocked to see Mrs. Fig, who is one of their neighbors, and she saw the attack. She walks them home, and Harry learns that Mrs. Fig is a squib, which is a term in the wizarding world, which means she comes from a magical family, but is unable to produce magic. Vernon and Petunia are not happy with Harry when they get home because Dudley is in a trance-like state. They think he did it to Dudley, but Harry swears he didn't. He saved him. An owl then delivers a howler to Harry, and on the inside, a lady from the ministry tells Harry he is expelled from Hogwarts for doing magic outside of school. The Dursleys take Dudley to the hospital, and while Harry is sleeping that night, Mad-Eye Moody and some other Aurors arrive to bring Harry with them. Harry is introduced to Kingsley Shacklebolt and Nymphadora Tonks, high-ranking Aurors. They tell Harry he has a disciplinary hearing at the ministry coming up, and they're going to make sure he gets there safe and sound. They all fly to London and go to 12 Grimmauld Place, which is Sirius's family home, and he is shocked to see Hermione and the Weasleys there. They tell him 12 Grimmauld Place is being used as the headquarters for a secret society known as the Order of the Phoenix. It was a group Dumbledore founded many years ago to fight against Voldemort and his army. Pretty much every noble adult we've encountered so far is in the Order, including Sirius, Lupin, the Weasleys, and the Aurors that were just introduced. The adults and the kids all eat dinner together, and Harry says he wants to be in the Order so he can fight Voldemort too, but Molly says he is far too young despite Sirius being on Harry's side. Lupin tells Harry the Ministry of Magic refuses to believe that Voldemort has returned, and they have been labeling Harry as an attention seeker and a liar. Everyone in the Order believes him, but that's about it. Sirius tells Harry that Voldemort is stalking his army right now, and he thinks he is after something he didn't have last time, something that can help him win the war. They just don't know what it is. A few days later comes Harry's court hearing at the ministry, and Arthur goes with him since he works there. During the hearing, Dumbledore shows up to defend Harry, and a few of the judges think Harry is lying about the Dementors, although some of them believe him. Cornelius Fudge refuses to believe Harry, and his right-hand woman, Dolores Umbridge, agrees with Fudge. Mrs. Fig shows up as a witness on Harry's behalf, and the vote is ultimately decided to drop all charges and Harry can go to school now. September 1st comes and Harry, Ron, and Hermione all board the Hogwarts Express to go to school for their 5th years. Once they arrive to Hogsmeade, they board Vestral carriages, and the gang is introduced to Luna Lovegood, a 4th year in Ravenclaw. In the first assembly in the Great Hall, Dumbledore announces that Dolores Umbridge, the lady from the ministry, will be the new defense against the dark arts teacher this year. Hermione tells Harry this isn't good because this means the ministry is interfering at Hogwarts, and she is there to ensure to the students know that Voldemort hasn't returned and Harry is a lunatic. And a lot of the students agree with her and treat Harry way differently than they did before. They believe the ministry and the Daily Prophet about Harry being an attention seeker. Seamus even calls him out on it, and they get into a little argument. Throughout the next week, Harry continues to have nightmares where it feels like he is in Voldemort's mind and can hear him thinking. In their first defense against the dark arts class, Harry gets into it with Umbridge because he yells that she is being foolish to believe Voldemort hasn't returned. Umbridge doesn't like the talking back, and she gives Harry a week of detention. When Harry goes to his first detention that afternoon, he is to write, "I must not tell lies," until she says to stop, but whenever he starts, the quill burns the words into his hand, causing a ton of pain. He can already tell this lady is going to be miserable, and he tells Ron and Hermione he doubts they learn anything of substance in defense against the dark arts this year because Umbridge doesn't believe they'll need that skill since Voldemort is gone. Over the next month, Umbridge completely takes over the school and bans any clubs from forming and is making the school miserable for the students because she has the backing of the Minister of Magic, and what she says goes. She even conducts reviews of all the professors to make sure they are teaching the way the ministry wants. After her review with Trelawney, She doesn't like the way she does her class, and she fires Trelawney from her teaching position, and Dumbledore is not happy with Umbridge. One night in the Gryffindor common room, Hermione knows they have to do something because Voldemort is out there and they'll need to learn how to defend themselves when the time comes. But since Umbridge has banned the use of magic in their defense against the dark arts class, she says Harry should secretly teach them since he has experience fighting dark wizards. Harry is modest and says it was all luck, but she says they have to do something. They get a bunch of students they get along with to meet and see if anyone else would want to be taught by Harry. They are skeptical at first because of all the noise around Harry right now, but Luna tells the group Harry can produce a real Patronus, and usually only experienced wizards can do that. Hermione says he'd be a much better teacher than Umbridge. The ones that want and sign a paper to join the club nicknamed Dumbledore's Army, but know if Umbridge finds out, they'll all be in trouble for forming secret school clubs. They need somewhere to practice privately, and Neville stumbles upon the Room of Requirement, which is a secret room that only appears in the castle when it is needed. Over the next few months, this is where they meet to practice their defensive spells, and it goes really well with no interruptions or Umbridge to break it up. When Harry is sleeping one night, he has another nightmare. But in this one, Voldemort is torturing Arthur Weasley for information and McGonagall takes him to Dumbledore right away. Dumbledore sends Harry off with Snape because Snape is a legilimens which allows the wizard to access someone else's thoughts, and Dumbledore wants Snape to help Harry control his mind so Voldemort can't get inside it, as he is a legilimens too. But thanks to Harry's vision, the Order of the Phoenix was able to save Arthur from Voldemort and get him home safe and sound. Everyone goes to 12 Grimmauld Place for Christmas, and Arthur thanks Harry for saving his life. During break, Harry and Sirius spend a lot of time together getting even closer than before. Elsewhere, Azkaban sees another huge breakout, and a lot of Death Eaters get out free to reunite with their master, the main one being Bellatrix Lestrange. The Ministry reports that Sirius Black was responsible for the breakout though, not Voldemort, which is complete bogus. Sirius is still at large where the Ministry is concerned because they still think he is guilty of the crime 16 years ago. When school resumes back up, Harry talks with Neville, and Neville tells Harry how Bellatrix Lestrange was responsible for his parents losing their minds all those years ago, and now that she's free, he is enraged. During a Dumbledore's Army meeting, everyone is shocked to see that Umbridge found the Room of Requirement, and when she confronts Dumbledore about it, he takes full responsibility for the club. Cornelius Fudge orders that Dumbledore be sent to Azkaban, but Dumbledore uses his Phoenix, Fox, to disapparate before they can arrest him. But with Dumbledore gone, Umbridge is appointed as the new headmistress of Hogwarts. And with her in charge, Hagrid is expecting to be fired and he asks the trio to take care of his giant brother, Grop, if he is sent away. Harry continues his lessons with Snape for mind control, but during one session, Harry's father, James Potter, is brought up and they get in a fight because Snape did not get along with James at all. In fact, they despised each other because James always bullied Snape. During school exams one day, George and Fred decide to quit school because they can't stand Umbridge, and they go out in style by causing a bunch of fireworks all throughout the Great Hall and outside the school. During which, Harry has another vision. But in this one, Voldemort is torturing Sirius in the Department of Mysteries at the Ministry of Magic. Harry knows he has to go save him because that's the only family he has left. He tries to leave through the Floo network, but is caught by Umbridge before he can leave. He is tied up. She slaps him and demands to know where he was about to go. Hermione tells Harry to tell her what she wants to know, and they all go out into the Forbidden Forest. But it was a trap Hermione thought of on the fly because they run into Grop and a herd of centaurs who kidnap Umbridge away. Harry now wants to go to the Ministry of Magic to save Sirius and wants to go alone because it is too dangerous, but a few of his close friends tell him he is not going through this alone. Harry, Hermione, Ron, Ginny, Luna, and Neville all fly to the Ministry of Magic in London. When they get there, Sirius is nowhere to be found, but Neville finds a prophecy ball that has Harry's name on it. The prophecy talks about Harry and Voldemort and how only one can survive in the end, and one of them will have to kill the other. Some Death Eaters then show up, led by Lucius Malfoy, who demands that Harry hand over the prophecy, and Harry realizes this is the object Voldemort has been searching for. A battle breaks out, and after a few minutes, Harry gives in and gives Lucius the prophecy so his friends won't be killed. But then members of the Order show up to fight the Death Eaters, and Lucius drops the prophecy, and it breaks. The Order is definitely winning the fight, and some Death Eaters flee, but not Bellatrix, and she uses the killing curse on Sirius, resulting in his death right in front of Harry. Harry is heartbroken and chases her into another hall where he is met by Lord Voldemort. Voldemort is about to kill Harry, but then Dumbledore shows up through the Flu Network. Dumbledore and Voldemort continue to have an epic magical battle, and they both are casting crazy spells trying to take the other one down. Voldemort realizes he can't beat Dumbledore, so he disapparates away. But then after a few minutes, he shows back up where Harry is and tells Harry his death is on the horizon and that time will come. Cornelius Fudge and other Ministry officials then walk into the hall and see that Voldemort is very much back and alive, and he disapparates away. He realizes Dumbledore and Harry were telling the truth this entire time. The very next day, the Daily Prophet admits they were wrong, and Dumbledore and Potter are vindicated, and Dumbledore is given his headmaster position back at Hogwarts. Umbridge is also placed on leave for a pending investigation for the way she acted recently. In the book, it's actually revealed she was the one who sent the dementors to Harry at the beginning of the movie. The school year is now over, and Dumbledore talks with Harry directly in his room, and Harry asks Dumbledore about the prophecy. Dumbledore says it is true, and one of Voldemort or Harry will have to kill the other for this all to end due to the shared blood inside of them and the magical enchantments. Harry tells Ron and Hermione they still have a fight ahead of them, but they'll be prepared when that time comes. And that is it for this one, friends. Get ready for the Half-Blood Prince next. Thanks for watching.